No one.
I really should load Forge
I should also do that.
and BC Base. Palo, did you see the dragons I posted?
Hold on. Oh, yeah. I like the blue one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made some neato dragons. I should post more of them. Let's get to doing that.
Posting more dragons is always good. Okay.
There you go.
I really am the only remaining original party member. This is weird.
Yeah.
I like that last one, the blue and gold one. Those are some good colors.
To be fair, I kind of figured you would be the last remaining party member.
Okay.
I really hope, by the way, that you appreciate the memes when it comes to the last Thursday session.
I'm trying to remember.
So the orange dragon that you met is a seer, and they're like, wait a minute, your party was supposed to be a bunch of other people.
Oh yes, I caught on to that very early, and I was just like, I don't know what to say about this. Sorry, they're not here. One of them went nuts and took the place of a god, and the other fucked off into who knows where.
Yeah, I don't know how many of you actually got that originally, but a big part of so the reason that Isa said any of that, just so you understand, is because everything that Foskia and Flama had been done through the was done through the Harrow cards. And because they have that level of power that they do, they completely defied Isa's visions. Because like Isa could only see what would happen if they did not have access to like artifacts that were stronger than their own visions could predict, which is the flaw to Isa's visions. And it doesn't come up very often.
I see. Oh.
Hello.
Welcome.
So now you understand.
I do.
Because unfortunately, one thing that we kind of had to think about as far as how the gift of prophecy and stuff would work is ultimately a prophecy could never because of the nature of what Harrow cards are, a prophecy should never be able to truly predict unless it comes straight from a god. Something that is done through the Harrow card magic. Because like otherwise it cheapens the aspect of randomness to the actual cards themselves. Like if prophecies could take priority over that, then hypothetically a prophecy could just straight up tell you what you draw.
Right.
Anyway, these are the incredibly niche conversations that we have with ourselves when thinking up the plot. I hope you appreciate that.
As it goes.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, I think we have everyone. I was looking at the wrong Discord window. Fuck. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is everyone who's going to be here today. Okay. Um. All right. So who wants to recap us?
When was the last time we played? Was I here?
I do not
Uncertain.
recall.
So you have been traveling through the cave systems under deep within the Hoshizoran continent. You met the warden of caves and burrows, and after giving them a particularly valuable egg, you were able to negotiate for safe passage out of the caves and a potential future alliance. Now, as you walk through the caves, having ended one part of your journey, merely needing to escape to safety, you are, in theory, headed back to Hoshizora, where you are hoping that you'll be able to investigate what has happened to the queen, who seemed to die when meeting the same warden. Welcome to the caves of today.
I'm currently trying to log in, but I forgot my password.
I personally advise just connecting your to your Forge thing to Discord.
Oh, that's smart.
That's what mostly everyone else does, and it makes logging in way easier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm just gonna get back to. All right, so as your party heads through the cave, you find. Actually, I guess everyone roll knowledge nature, or um, no, knowledge nature. Yeah, just that. Otherwise, you won't spot the potentially weird thing that might kill you. I mean, what?
Is he public role?
Yeah. Oh wait. We'll do this one roll, and then I need to reset everything. Reset the chat. That is. Is everyone rolled?
I'm still trying to log in.
Fuck.
Sorry, what was that, Paolo?
I said no, sorry. Fuck. Okay, there we go. Shit was not loading. How did I get a lower check?
It's okay, Paolo.
The one thing I'm supposed to be good at.
It's okay, Paolo. We all eventually figure out that we're worthless failures who can't do things we should be able to do, right?
Well, that's depressing.
So true.
That it is. Both true and depressing.
I don't know if I would call that true, but anyway.
I
What happened?
like to think of it as the bifecta because I can't think of a third thing to go there.
Wah.
We're still waiting for everyone to roll. Then again, I'll just give it to Daitetsu and Sprout though. Both of you recognize that what lay before you is not any particular environment normal. Well, Amaris would note this too. For the material plane, though the road that is stretched out before you, the cave seeming to vanish and a night sky above you, this seems like it's made of ordinary cobblestone. Though it seems to be made out of ordinary cobblestone, it is distinctly different, appearing the same, but possessing some kind of mysterious, one might even say supernatural quality that differentiates it from the normal mundane material. Almost as if it's not made from stone at all.
So the cave walls look like they're not made of real stone?
No, you eventually exit the cave, and when you are outside of the cave, you see the night sky above you and a road that seems to be made that looks like it's cobblestone, but is
Oh, okay, gotcha.
definitely only so in appearance.
So, is this where you all came in from?
No, I don't recall encountering this road. This is material I'm unfamiliar with. Not something I've took smithing tool to. He'll cautiously step upon it and kneel down to get a better feel for this material. This is something he's even touched before. Perhaps it's an illusion.
Wait, oh, fuck, hang on. Give me a minute. I just lost the page for some reason. Did I just lose internet?
Sorry, I got dragged off.
You're coming through. Weird.
Whoa, this map is wild.
You notice the stone beneath you is certainly weaker than cobblestone normally is. It seems vaguely familiar, like you've interacted with this material before, though you've certainly never seen any such material that looks like cobblestone.
What the hell is all of this?
Daitetsu will, I guess, remove a magnet from his pack and attempt to see if it reacts accordingly.
No, it does not seem to be magnetically charged.
And as he looks up, it appears to wind in this fashion.
Sorry, what?
When he looks up, does it appear to wind the road?
Yes. You can see bits of road above you.
Have we entered someone else's domain?
That's what I'm starting to think. May as well see where this leads.
Look, all I'm saying is you have magic for a reason. Good luck on having the right spells.
Oh gosh, what spells do I have? So
Oh
many.
boy.
Well, unless there's any one who says otherwise, I think we should start heading down. And Amaris will start trotting down the road.
Well, whether someone else is remaining or just completely different reality entirely, it's hard to say. Unfortunately, it's not like we have any way to speak across to a different plane, or even if it's a demi-plane.
You're breaking up a little.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Does it just look like abyss below us? Does the road just go on forever down?
It
It does look like abyss below you.
but
What kind of
the
backroom shit is
terrain.
this?
Oh, sorry. Since I made the map and I read from the description, I will say the terrain seems to fall off into
You're
darkness.
breaking up horribly, by the way.
I will say that the terrain seems to go into a
Yeah, only half the words you're saying are
okay,
coming
never
through.
mind. I'm not going to talk until I'm hot. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying the microphone you're using doesn't work. You need to use this one.
Okay. Understood. Sorry.
You're okay. I am not mad or anything. I just wanted you to know. But I
know.
understand. Okay.
Anyways, yeah. So the terrain, it seems to fall off into darkness. You can't really see if it continues past that point or not. All you know is that once it seems to disappear, all that seems beyond that is pure darkness, and you can't see anything else. It's just void. And similarly, the roads twisting above seem to have ground that also just seems to fade into nothingness at random. Well, as far as you're concerned.
Everyone here can fly, right?
For 10 minutes.
Yeah, so if anyone falls, that should be our response. But I am fascinated by how it goes all the way up and how there's nothing below. Can I try to, like, are there any, like, loose pebbles anywhere?
No.
I don't.
If I tried
up a stone and drop it, I guess.
Yeah, if I try to, like, dig out a cobblestone from the path, does anything happen?
Roll will save?
Roll a will save?
Yes.
Okay. Bada bing. 39.
What'd you get?
A 39.
Okay. You feel a slight sense of dread, like something is crying out and in pain. Do you continue trying to cry it out?
No. Amaris will kind of stand back up and put a hand on her forehead and say, "Well, it certainly does not want us picking at this road. Whatever's
What
in
doesn't
charge
want
of...
us taking at the road?
I don't know. Something, clearly, but yeah, don't try to pick at those. It'll hurt your head. So clearly there's someone in charge of this."
Where are we?
Amaris is going to continue on down the road.
The runes on Daitetsu's helmet will begin to glimmer and he'll cast Detect Metal. Still keeping an eye on the road they're walking upon.
Let's see. So is this heightened or?
Yes, to 5th level.
Okay. Um,
I think it's specific enough to where if I was walking on a normal road, I don't believe it would pinpoint. It would probably pinpoint some presence of magnetic fields, even if they
you
aren't
do not
strong.
sense any magnetic fields.
Sure. You can discern all types of metal you detected. Blah, blah, blah. So no metal or magnetic fields as he's walking this path.
Correct.
Okay.
And if one were to try detect magic,
You can try that.
I shall. Excluding any magical items worn by anyone.
You sense a strong aura of necromancy all around you.
Oh, okay. That's not what she was hoping to see.
This is
Yeah,
what
most people
everybody
aren't.
knows.
Detect
Guys,
magic definitely tends to show you such things.
not to alarm anyone, but it would seem that the magic of at least the surrounding area is necromantic in nature to a degree. So,
Necromantic. But it's
yeah,
a stone road over a giant gaping chasm. How is that?
magic works in mysterious ways.
I do magic. I know this. I do magic? Ugh, why did I say it like that?
That is a good question. I do
And I'm
wonder.
Listen, I'm tired. I am running on a cup of green tea.
Oh shit, Pala's breaking out the southern accent. Here we go.
Yeehaw.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Perhaps
right.
this realm itself is life. You mentioned a groan. Perhaps this very dimension is a creature.
I'm gonna need to send them anyway. Keep going. Sorry, ignore me.
He will attempt to. He'll attempt to cast. He reaches down and attempts to cast harm upon
Oh god.
the road.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
So his gloved hand begins to glow and gleam in this runic pattern.
You're gonna
And he'll
kill the
cast a
road
level
and we're all
1
gonna
harm
die.
upon the road. Curious.
Amaris takes a few steps back. What are you doing?
I wish to confirm if this is a living creature we are setting foot upon.
You do not get a reaction.
Thank God.
Tempted,
Right. Oh, go on.
he recites another incantation in some language and will attempt a level 1 heal spell.
Doesn't seem affected.
I could be mistaken, but this platform is neither undead nor living.
I would really like to know where we are.
As would I, but I think the only way to find that out is by getting to the end of the road.
I suppose we should
Mars.
just keep pressing forward and watching out.
Yep. And Amaris will continue on down.
Suddenly you hear the sound of a bell tolling from far down the road. By which I mean not that far down the road. It's definitely one of those two things. It's either close or far.
What is a
It is
road?
not of medium distance.
You guys heard that, right? Sound like a bell?
Yes. Can we see the bell from here?
No.
Let me go ahead. And he'll attempt to squeeze past her. And with this road, is there darkness separating these two patches of land?
Yes, there does seem to be some sort of abyss.
He'll look over and approximate if he can hop over without issue.
Sorry, I'm having trouble seeing. Give me a few minutes.
Okay.
Okay, so you're continuing down the road. By the way, I hope you're all moving your tokens. And wink.
Yes. My game is just lagging a little bit.
Daitesi's just verifying if he can hop over here.
Oh, yes, you can. That ground is connected to the road.
Okay. Hilts him to walk across and knock upon the door.
Writing on the door says, "Go around the other way." It seems to be written in blood, by the way, in case that changes anything about your next decision.
He rescinds knocking on the door and steps.
Oh, I was going to say, Sancho, just say after looking at that, I'm going to guess this is the door.
It says to go the other way, so I'm gonna go with the blood writing and just go the other way.
He'll return. At this point, he'll draw his weapon and shield.
And I slowly make my way across. Oh yeah, look at that. There's a bridge.
I totally misread the map the first time around. I am having some degree of trouble seeing, so apologies for that. But we're good, sort of.
So going up to this side, what does this building look like?
Give me a moment. Or the Stargirls can explain it since they're on their mic.
Oh, sure. One of the notable features of this particular building, besides the giant bell on the top of it, is that a lot of it seems to be covered in gold plating. It is like almost a gaudy level of gold all over the place on this thing. And as you go up to it, you see a glass panel, a desk, and a strange, draconic-looking creature behind the desk.
I think you forgot to upload their token.
No, I realized there was a problem, or the glass panel is causing a slight problem. But anyways.
I
Wait,
saw him
really?
earlier.
Yeah, wait. Yeah, so they're in there, but because of the glass panel and calculate sight based off of geometry, I can turn that off real quick, probably.
I see. Very dark token.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a thing to disable how lighting affects tokens.
Taitetsu clears his throat and looks down, not wanting to approach or even speak.
Mars will step up.
The creature looks you up, and by the way, someone's fan is coming over their mic. The creature looks you up and down, all of you, and says, You don't look like you belong here. But to get past, you will have to pay the toll.
Of course, there's a toll.
This is a toll booth.
Do we have to?
Yes.
Ugh. Alright, how much is it?
You must give something precious to you. Something that you shall frequently remember that you are without.
You will accept nothing more or less.
Correct. It has to be precious to you.
Why?
It's such a strange question for a druid of all people to ask.
How does it help you, is what I'm asking.
It's not about what helps me. It's about what keeps the balance of the world together. One must always pay for that which they desire, and the payment can neither be too little nor too much.
If we do not wish to unburden ourselves with what we value, can you at least show us an alternative path if we do not wish to pay the toll?
There is no alternate path for you.
Is there a way to go back the way we came?
Unfortunately, there are only more roads for miles back the way that you came from.
And we must all offer this something of value.
That is correct.
Ugh, these are the worst kind of booths.
Agreed.
Amaris just begins going through all of her doohickeys. This one, no, don't care about that one enough.
Tessa will whisper to Amaris, I am from a city, not this forest of dimensions. Is this normal?
No.
Why are we
Maybe it
acting as though
is.
this is normal?
Well, I kind of assumed this was normal after the caves turned into a jungle.
I have never seen anything like this. And I have seen some weird dimensions.
He'll speak up. Are you familiar with insert in name that we came from?
Sorry, can you say it again?
He's asking if they are familiar with the inn that they had came from.
No, I only know this particular place offhand.
Beyond this road, where will we end up? Does it have a name?
Well, past here, you'll find the last liqueur.
If we refuse to pay, what then? Do we just go on this road forever and ever?
You will have to turn back and, well, the penalty at the next toll booth
The next
might be worse.
Amaris just groans and grabs her Aeon Stone from orbiting around her. I've had this for a while. Try not to get too attached to my stuff, but this one's been neat. And she goes to place it on... is that... Yep. She goes to place it on the counter. Will this do?
She swipes it up and on. And the rest of you.
Sprout moves forward and places the hostling statue that they used to house Zephyr, which looks like Zephyr because that's where Zephyr was. Is that good enough?
They seem to look at it for a moment, thinking, before looking up at Sprout, nodding and saying, "My condolences."
Dante will think for a bit before finally stepping forward and offering what looks like a wooden crown from her pack.
They take this.
Hmm. You want something truly valuable to me.
Something that you shall not soon forget, that you shall dwell upon, that you have lost.
I do not know where we are. I'd wish for us to return to civilization. If I give you this, it may not seem valuable to you, but to me, it is my armor and it is my weapon. Without this, I cannot craft my tools, nor can I repair my armor and my shield. Will this suffice? And he'll offer her his toolkit that he uses to repair his armor between combats.
She nods, taking it.
You strip me of something I hold just as valuable as my holy symbol. And I'll delete it.
Well, now mine
by
feels
the
kind
way,
of lesser.
Zanja, have you checked DMs?
Yep, working on.
Okay.
What was that, Amars?
Oh, Amaris was just complaining that her offering seemed lesser now in comparison to yours.
That Aeon stone of yours, which type was it?
I think they call it smoothing. It's it helps me when traveling. It's kind of an all-rounder. It really helps you out with how to say.
He'll nonchalantly reach up, catch the one that's floating around his head, then take mine. It holds no value. It was a gift
Are you sure?
for those that wish to dedicate themselves to the Empire, but with my queen gone, I don't think it holds any value to me.
Whoa.
Something
He'll
is
give
packing.
he'll give Amaris the Aeon Stone of Smoothing that he has.
You had one as well.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
Well, this is awfully convenient.
Had my queen still been alive, that would have been the most valuable thing on my person.
Are you sure you? I suppose it's rude to refuse a gift. Thank you, Daitetsu.
He shrugs. I'll delete the item now.
Mars
go
will
ahead and-
happily take it and focus on it as she invests. And I add another smoothing stone back into my inventory.
I can't give up my bundle of feathers that I use to cast spells because I use that to cast spells.
Anyway, she waves each of you forward. However, as you are, sorry, as you are, actually, no, wait, never mind. That was supposed to be later. Go on.
Scary.
Technically not for you.
I have concern for my party members.
Oh. I'm sorry you feel that way. That'll really suck later on.
Well,
I'm
on we
fearful.
go, fellas.
Onwards and forwards
Wherever
to
the
our death. But only for some.
I do not like this.
No, Sunny, I did not deselect you. Keep moving.
Sunny is just going her own way.
When has Sunny not been going her own way?
I do believe that she sleeps sometimes.
And even then,
Yeah, probably not. Anyway,
As they're walking, Daitetsu will bring up Sprouts. Why did the stranger seem to conclude that you would not hold attachments to anything?
Why did? Huh?
The stranger mentioned that she's surprised that a druid would not have attachments.
No, she
What
was
happened?
surprised that I didn't understand that I asked her why she wanted that. I'm just trying to understand this place better. I've never seen anything like this before. She was just asking why I questioned why the toll was there in the first place. I'm a little confused by what she said. Sure, you lose things going through life, but that's not exactly necessarily a part of nature. That's just life in general. You don't necessarily, well, I don't know, I guess you pay energy to hunt and then you gain energy from hunting. I don't know.
I mean, generally, druids are very well connected to the cycle of life and death. So, it kind of, if you're talking about the entirety of your life and losing things, it makes sense that a druid would think about things like that.
When put in that way, yes, but we're also in a place where there is a road that stretches down into nothing, and there appears to be even more road floating above us, so absolutely nothing here makes sense, and this is not the nature that I swore to protect. So I think I can be excused to not quite understand what's going on here.
I should have asked them why necromancy envelops this place. That's maybe the
Yeah.
last item.
Wait, no, now I'm curious. Why is this place steeped in necromancy? Oh, wait, are we...
I could probably go back
Yeah.
and ask.
Yeah, you're too late.
Oh, shit. Okay. That's the next booth, since she seemed to make it clear that there was another one.
Alright.
I just hope they don't ask for more shit.
They're probably going to ask for more shit.
Yeah, they are.
They're probably gonna ask for more shit. I mean,
Why are
what?
the sky gods talking to me again?
That's a good point. You are not a cleric.
I am not, in fact, a cleric.
I don't know. Druids sometimes get that too, though, to be fair. Just ask Kedda.
Speaking of God speaking to you, does Tetsu feel the presence of wind?
No, not particularly.
There's no wind here?
Not a very strong one. It seems to be fairly still.
I think I understand why. Perhaps Reyna established order. I am completely confused, bewildered even, overwhelmed.
What do you mean?
He begins to talk to himself. I don't like this place.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay. And you all go. Foosh. Get fooshed.
Yay.
The last liqueur?
Why is it the last one?
The last liqueur?
Because you skipped past the second to last liqueur.
Are we on the road to death? Did we die?
Which of those questions did you like me to answer?
Both.
I'm sorry, that's one or the other.
The first one, I guess, because I'm pretty sure we didn't die.
Yes.
Is Sprout getting Sky God bonus advice? Does Sprout hear this at all?
You hear a mysterious voice on the wind that says yes, but you don't know if you're just delusional. You're welcome.
Sonny, am I going insane?
Sunny yips, and in a very deeply masculine voice that only you can understand, says, "Yes."
Brett, let me tell you, baby, we are.
We don't gotta do that shit, you know?
I'm so sorry.
Sprout saying this to Sunny. Because I'm presuming this has happened before. Because when does any of Sunny's shenanigans not occur multiple times?
True. Okay, wait. We've got to take a 5-minute break. I will be right back. My stomach is killing me.
Please survive.
Thank you.
While this is happening, Daitechu sits down for a bit, looks over the edge, and contemplates.
Almost done. Shit. That's make more.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, By the way, yeah, I need a new blanket. This one's good. Okay, give me a second. Thank you. Okay, I'm back. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, just to be clear, none of you heard me say anything about a party whip, right?
How about a what? Oh,
Okay, good.
I
I
mean,
thought you said
Okay,
party whip for a moment. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Party is always.
Oh, well, I'm glad you didn't hear about that either then.
What the fuck? I don't know, man.
So anyway, the last liqueur. What do you do?
You want to go in? You want to just keep going?
Tetsu's still looking over the edge, more or less out of focus, catatonic, even confused.
Yeah.
When was the last time we slept?
Good question.
He draws out his
If
astrolabe.
you're wondering, you have not slept since you beat the dragon. If that's what you're wondering.
Mm, I would avoid any communication until we leave this place, but that
I
is
will
not-
say that this seems to be an inn.
Well,
have
there's
a
nothing else
feeling
up here.
this facility will require something more dire than what we hold valuable.
Yeah, I feel like you're probably right. But at the same time, it's kind of the only place there is around here, and we don't really know how to get out, so feel like this is probably the only way forward, unfortunately.
Oh, by the way, Moth, your something's coming through, like clanking or something on your end when you speak.
Oh, apologies. Is it better now? Do you still hear it?
Yeah. I don't hear it now.
Okay, cool.
Once more, he will draw out his
She's
weapon of choice and shield and hop over.
Unfortunately, everything is falling off of my desk today.
Oh god. Everything's falling apart.
My desk ate the slip fruit.
Yeah, look, it's okay. She didn't spill any secrets because, she didn't spill the cheese.
True.
Spill the cheese.
Well, I have nacho cheese on my desk. Because I'm, eating dinner while I do this.
I haven't had nachos in so long.
Well, I'm having popcorn shrimp, actually.
Popcorn
Tastes very good with
so
nacho
good.
cheese. In fact, I really think it should just be popcorn shrimp cheese, but listen, I'm just ahead of my time.
Popcorn
So
shrimp
true.
cheese?
Yeah, because it tastes better that way.
Amaris will saunter over to the door and try to open. Oh.
Again,
I wonder who that
you
is in
hear-
there.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
Shh. Spoilers. Anyway, again, you hear the loud sound of a bell tolling. It echoes all across the roads. As far as you, at least if it did come from the toll booth that you came from. So as you enter the door, wait, why? What is up with the door?
That's a good question. Why is it multiplying?
Oh,
That is a lot of door. There's a
We're
lot
trapped
of
in the
door.
infinite door realm. I keep getting
I
an
didn't know
error.
that
Why
there
is it
was a
saying I lack permission to update the
Yeah,
tile? I'm
me
not
too.
fucking with it.
I just deleted it. Give me a second.
All I'm gonna say is I had no idea that there was a door version of the back rooms.
We are in the back rooms.
Yeah, we're already in the
Yeah.
back rooms.
You know what?
Oh, that's a good point.
So the door doesn't exist anymore. Just push the token through.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, the door is fake now.
Behind the door, you see a fiery hellhound whose eyes blaze with a light that seems as if it heralds death itself. She stands behind the counter menacingly, polishing a glass. As a snake tells her about how bad their business has been lately. You don't know if she's listening, though.
Amaris will go over and take a seat.
What do the rest
So
of you do?
how's business out here?
Oh, well, to die for. The hellhound says.
Yeah, I can imagine. So,
Say you look familiar.
A lot of people tell me that. Sometimes it's because I read their souls. Other times, I really don't know.
Hmm.
Why exactly would you reap one's soul?
Well, typically, you don't want to stick around the material plane for too long. It grows out of style real quick. Also, to answer the how is this going, the bar snake just sighs and droops their head on the table, saying that they can't even sell their tome of root reading.
Of what?
Root reading.
Root
Root
reading?
reading, yes.
Root reading. What's that about?
Well, it is a special, rare spellbook that teaches you to be capable of casting the spell root reading.
What does the spell do?
It animates roots and makes them read stories to you. You can choose the story, but you have to own the story and give it to them in some fashion.
That's
They have very melodic voices.
How much is
That's
it?
interesting.
2,000 gold.
Ooh,
Oh, wowie.
I can see why you're having rough business.
It is an
Yeah.
incredibly rare spell developed by an ancient druid named after a tree. Usually those are very noteworthy.
I'm not saying the quality's low, I'm saying the price is pretty spicy for most people.
Oh, well, that's fair.
You're gonna
It
have
gives
a
you
rough
a
time
really
finding a
good
buyer.
night's sleep.
Well, I don't even think I have that much gold.
Supposedly, the druid developed this spell in order to read his children to sleep every night and make sure that they got a better night's sleep.
Why not just read it yourself? This seems like an awfully specific spell.
Well,
I
like
mean,
I'm
does it,
saying, there is a roots have inherently beautiful voices when you empower them to be able to speak.
do they enjoy this? Do the roots like being able to read stories?
I've never asked, but I imagine if a druid was doing it every night, probably.
Or maybe the druid is being really mean.
Well, then he
Did the
would be
druid ever
breaking his
ask?
oath.
Azanta will say, I mean, I've heard the ancient trees love telling stories, so why wouldn't roots?
You're so
Yeah.
quiet.
Oh,
And I had you at 200 already.
it could be better to hear. Sometimes the fan makes it harder to hear.
It's not better, I'm sorry.
Oh, well, give me a second then.
I hear her just fine, and I'm only listening to the headphones.
We're at 200%.
I can hear everyone clearly with my head.
What the hell's wrong with my shit?
So the Hellhound just says, well, to be fair, if the trees did not enjoy the spell being cast on them, he would have been breaking his oath and lost his powers.
Probably.
Oh, my mic was down to 75. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay. So, I suppose one question for you, bartender. Where exactly are we?
The last liqueur.
Well, besides your establishment. what is the overall domain we're in?
Well, the last liqueur, of course, is the best bar in all of the Boneyard.
Do we need to roll religion for that one, or do we know enough from when we were told
I
about
thought
that?
plains is nature.
Outer planes is religion. Inner planes is nature.
Oh, okay. Religion it is.
I don't have a high
I'll go.
religion, but I want to try.
What is my
I don't know
religion?
shit.
Oh, not too bad.
I'm gonna hero point that.
Choo. Ooh.
Apparently, I just don't get to know.
Oh, I got a high roll.
Rolling the nat 1, Daitetsu clutches his helmet. I believe we have fallen. The boneyard? We must be dead. How did we fall?
I don't remember dying.
Wait, Daitetsu got a nat 1, though.
Yeah, I thought it was the most absurd thing that we did die. So he's assuming we died.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's
Well,
not.
Amaris knows that the Boneyard is the domain of Pharasma and where souls go when they've died.
I mean, I think
Yeah,
it's pretty fair for just common sense to assume that a place called the Boneyard is a death-related area.
Well, it could be related to war.
No, to be fair, it could be where dogs hide their treats.
I'm sure they
Like
do
the
that
secret
too.
like the secret plane that they send all of their favorite treats to, and then they go pull them out. Like, you think that they actually just bury them in the yard. That's not how that works, though.
We are talking to a hellhound. Who knows how many treats she's hidden here.
A lot. Like, there's at least 20 bottles of alcohol that you can see.
Zaja will just say, and remind me what the Boneyard is?
Does Amaris say anything?
Well, the Boneyard is the realm of the dead. It's I believe it's some kind of sorting realm for the afterlives. It's complicated, but I definitely don't think that's where we are. I think we would have known if we died.
I mean, if that's the case, that would make it one of the outer planes, yeah?
Likely so, yes.
Well, then that means that there's alternative routes here. Just, you probably shouldn't take them.
Particularly you're walking along the dead roads, but those are part of the Boneyard.
So then this place is called the Last Liqueur because you'll only get here if you die, normally.
That's right.
Well, if that's the case, I'll buy a drink for everyone. And I suppose wander. What may happen to me if I jump off into the abyss?
That sounds like a bad thing.
What's worse than death?
A lot of things.
I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but
Both his ears perk up. I could inform you of that if you'd like.
I don't care anymore. Give them a drink and I'll pay for it.
She starts mixing drinks. Well,
Wait a minute, what are you taking for payment?
Does it matter? We are dead, Sprout.
We're not dead. Right? She looks at the bartender.
the bartender says nothing.
What are you taking as payment for the drinks?
It's a fair question, and I am feeling a mite bit peckish right about now. I could really do with a meal.
I can bake you banana bread.
Deal.
Can you bake all of us banana bread?
Wait, what did you say?
Can you bake all of us banana bread?
Yeah, can you
If
share with the
you've
group?
got enough bananas.
Well, I don't.
Well, as it
but-
so happens, I have a great deal with a particular banana plantation. The owner is very nice and has the cutest little monkey.
I
God damn
can
it.
bake some banana bread for you to possibly even sell here, maybe. I even
Both
have the one.
avoid Sprout to the kitchen at the back.
Sprout heads over, and I don't remember what the fuck I'm doing. Where's my shit?
That
Plus 5 to crafting, there we go.
Well, so given we presumably came here from a tunnel network that can connect to other locations and apparently even other planes, so I'm assuming we didn't die and we
I
just
do not
came
accept
here
this.
through the dimensional capabilities of the tunnel network.
Are you kidding me?
So the question I have, since bartenders tend to be the best people to talk to for information, how do we get somewhere, well, back in the material plane?
Well, for you in particular, you need to get closer to death.
Referring to the whole party or me specifically?
Each of you.
Ah,
I apparently do a pretty shit job of making banana bread.
so
You can try again.
A 20 is
I already re-rolled my hero point.
Yeah, but you have a lot of bananas to work with.
Yeah, you can just scrap the batch and start
Lord,
again.
how many bananas are in here?
and
586.
Yeah, that's enough to work with. What the fuck? Okay, whatever. This is better than the previous roll, I guess.
one more.
27 isn't bad. I mean, you're just making banana bread. How hard can it be?
Yeah, but the fucking DCs are always really high.
I don't. Does the DC of a banana bread scale with player level?
Probably. I'm making banana bread for some sort of boneyard spirit. Am I using bone dust for flour?
You're not certain about that. Could be, though.
Maybe that's why I'm fucking up so much, because it's not actually flour.
I guess you'll just have to try to plant, to use it to fertilize an acorn.
And then, after 20
1
years,
second.
I'll know
Their computer just shut off. Give her a second.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's been doing that.
Does a 27 make quality enough banana bread?
1 sec.
It can wait. It's not like... I don't need an answer this second.
Okay, general 5-minute break while we get while she gets set back up. But anyways, I will say that 27 gets you some very delicious and very moist banana bread for
Oh,
some
thank God.
snacks.
I didn't totally fail.
Listen, Paolo, we're not saying that this is the Fosca that came from the original version of Tales of the Dragon Blessed and basically reached the level of godhood practically, but it might be.
Huh?
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, here. Who's here? Who's not?
Hi.
I'm present.
Me too.
Okay. As Foskia starts pouring out the glasses, she begins to explain to you. I understand this is going to be a bit complicated for you all to understand, but you're about a week early for your appointment here.
Wait, so we're actually going to die in a week?
Give or take. You could die sooner, but most likely a week.
Do you know why?
Because you end up meddling with forces beyond your control.
Oh, well, that sounds about right.
Well, that doesn't always lead to death, does it?
No, but it does here.
Hmm.
The jiggling is happening again, by the way.
Ah, shit. Hang on. Okay. Well, I don't know about that. I tend to think, even those who can read fate know that fate can be changed.
This isn't reading fate. This is the goddess at the beginning saying, as the person who judges and presides over the end, that your end is nigh. Though not unavoidably so.
Not unavoidably, so it can be changed?
Somewhat yes, somewhat no. We're here to determine that.
I see. So a bit of a test from you.
Yes, instead of dying in a week, you are going to die today and attempt to pass the trial of resurrection.
Oh,
That sounds like a fun challenge.
In order to survive the coming trials that you are naturally being pushed towards, you cannot simply walk the earth that you know, but rather must be closer to the stars.
I see. So this is going to be very similar to the last time I went through that trial.
This is its own trial, but there is some overlap. One in the normal course of their life, cannot be close to the stars, for they are eternally bound to the soil which birthed them. However, when you have properly shuffled the mortal coil and then taken it back, you are a being from outside. Not an outsider in the normal sense, but one who can be close to the stars.
So, what exactly does this trial include?
You must face and defeat your own death.
That's it?
Yes, you've already begun the first part of that trial. To live is to constantly lose that which is precious to us, to have to abandon the memories of that which we love. So, to appreciate life in all of its grandeur, you must lose something that aided you greatly in continuing on. One of the many things you have failed to acknowledge as a crutch.
You referencing the previous thing, or are we gonna have to give up some more?
You've already passed that particular trial at the toll booth.
Are we some chosen people deemed to go through this trial, or have many before us fallen or succeeded? Why does my trial have to involve everyone else and vice versa?
You've been recommended.
Do you speak to my God?
No,
Who is this individual that recommends me?
unfortunately, that is beyond my ability to say.
If I'm to die in a week, I think I should die in a week. Why do I deserve to escape death?
It's not about what you deserve. That's a nebulous construct that we tend to make to explain what we should or should not have. It's about what you're given the opportunity for. And being closer to the stars allows you to achieve the objectives you set your eyes upon. Cleansing the corruption of your empire? Absolutely doable.
That's not doable by myself. I'm not even sure if I want to do that at this moment. I thought I would return to the inn and continue speaking to those that are lost in the ways of Reina, but you have me here going through a trial.
If you are going to help those who are lost, that is also something that this trial may help you with.
You're implying I'm special in some sense.
That's one way to look at it. I would say that you're capable. That's all that matters.
He shakes his head and drinks his drink.
Does everyone else drink their drink?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Suspiciously.
Okay, I will. So roll will saves. First of all,
That's not a good number.
someone's fan is coming over.
I haven't been able to hear anything anyone else is hearing, like the fans.
Oh, it's because the freaking air conditioning is blowing right in my face. Sorry, that's probably me.
Okay. So will saves, will saves, will saves. I will be typing out what you see from the drinks. Someone's typing at the mechanical keyboard. I think.
Pretty sure it's coming from you.
Wait, what? Why would I hear it?
I don't know. It looked like it was coming through your microphone.
Well, yeah, yeah, I wouldn't hear that then.
Maybe it resounded through someone else's mic.
My mic's been
Maybe.
muted.
I don't know. It's not mine. I'm not typing.
Let me mute my desktop because obviously my desktop can hear you, and I don't know if you're hearing that tiny sound from my headphones or not.
Uh,
So yeah, I just muted it. Let me know if that fixes it.
okay, that was Sprout. Okay, and I've just got one more. Okay, everyone but Daitetsu experiences a great cold feeling as they see their own particular vision as if the world has frozen over. Daitetsu comes out fine though.
Dante looks a special kind of horrified.
Sprout just looks really sad.
Maris kind of looks like she's tripping.
You know, given your vision, that's actually pretty fair. I'm just saying that's the kind of shit that you'd see on shrooms.
Yeah.
Zaga will, after a little while, after just trying to wrap her head around everything that she just saw, say, that wasn't confronting our death, was it?
None of that has to do with your death, necessarily, but rather These are the events that you are able to prevent should you become closer to the stars.
Wait, so that wasn't a vision of the world being created?
Well, for you, admittedly, I cannot answer that. I can merely say that that is a vision the stars wish to show you and not something that is able to be prevented, as it has already happened.
Hey, can I have a regular drink? Something hard. If you got any scotch?
I unfortunately do not serve that here.
Amara's groans and just takes out her water flask and drinks it.
For what purpose would the stars show me nothing?
Wait, you didn't get your message in secret channel?
Oh, double check. Because you mentioned that Tessa wouldn't have experienced this?
No, you experienced it. You just don't experience the after effects, the disconcerting stuff after. You still see the vision, you just know that you're experiencing a vision. Whereas the others felt it was completely 100% real.
There's a word here. Trance? Is that a typo?
Hang on a second. Thank you. I'll fix that now. There you go.
Okay. What concerns me is why the stars would show me something that concerns me, yet not provide me the answers in preventing it. It feels as though I'm playing a game much like these politicians I wish to avoid. If I'm just playing more games and that is all life is, I'd rather avoid this trial.
When you are closer to the stars, when you have passed the trial, you shall be capable of seeing how to prevent the events for 3 of you. But it is necessary to pass that trial. Otherwise, you will be incapable of seeing the evil that causes each of those prophecies to be fulfilled.
I have a lot of reason to pass mine, because that's not just me that's going to be affected by that.
Then what is yours?
Apocalyptic.
And everyone else's?
I don't know if I'd call it apocalyptic, but it's certainly not good.
Mine was, the opposite?
The opposite?
Yeah, like... creation.
Well, what did you see?
Was a little confusing to comprehend, but there were 2 beings. I couldn't quite make out what they were saying, but one stabbed the other, and suddenly everything split off into multiple. like continents being made. It was a little confusing.
Did you see the beginning of the world?
I don't know. There was a fox and a serpent. I don't know if that's part of any creation myth I've heard of.
Even more sullen in this drink, Daitetsu would shake his head. Well, perhaps the stars are telling me that my concerns are much less than your own. I didn't receive a prophecy as grand as an apocalypse or even creation. Simply abuses of power, something that perhaps happens every day. I
I
wonder if
would
the
warn
stars...
you, each of you has seen something. Each of you three has seen something equally apocalyptic, just at different stages.
Huh.
Pardon me, but heavy taxes, those being subjugated, this is not something new.
Should the night suppress the people so greatly, there shall be a great war that tears apart the entirety of the continent. One that may never even end.
I disagree. I think all wars end.
If that war ends at the point that the winds stop blowing, then yeah, I suppose it ends when everyone's dead.
Do you know the details of your apocalyptic prophecy?
Strange. The best way I could call it is anti-wind blew across the continent, and suddenly the wind stopped blowing.
Anti-wind?
It's the only way I could describe it. Everything suddenly started going in reverse until no wind blew at all, no rain came, no storms blew. And also an old friend of mine, I watched them die.
Do you speak of the wind speaker or someone more literal?
Well, someone more literal. I mean, they are very much tied to wind and innovation. Their name is Gale.
Daitetsu's still sullen and annoyed. Will take another drink, and before doing so, he'll say, well, if my vision is relevant, would undoing Reina's order prevent this apocalypse?
Unfortunately, I cannot say that.
I have my doubts. Being here, away from what I used to call home, reminds me that my problems are so little compared to wherever I am now. I did not know of beasts that can control dimensions, realms.
Well, I would ask you to consider all of the things that you saw, each of the visions that you were given, all four of them are connected to each other.
Can you answer at least one question for me? And it's a quite simple one.
I shall hear it.
Do you believe Reina should still live or die? Would that matter in the grand scheme of this apocalypse?
Very little of the apocalypse is attached to Reyna. That is as much as I can hope to tell you.
He
She is
sighs.
not its source.
So the source of my anguish, the source of my anger, is irrelevant. That feels fine. And he'll just drink again.
The drink does not seem to have any unique psychedelic effects after the first sip. However, it does taste very fruity and delicious. Possibly even like a mango fruit smoothie.
Oh my god, we're going there again.
That Tetsu snarls regardless.
These roads are set to test your will to live, and only those whose desire to live has broken past the casual one instilled in us throughout our lives can understand the message of the stars. It is the stars that have guided all of Hoshizora and that continent in general since the very beginning. To see the hidden world, one must be close to them.
Pardon me for asking, but why don't I feel the Wind Speaker's presence here? Not to say I don't believe what you say, I just would rather reach out to them.
The wind speaker is not here, however. You may find them should he return to Hoshizora, the major city.
I'm prepared for this trial. Not that I care if we fail or not at this point. I doubt I'll have time to process my new goals, if not to undo this queen.
I shall offer you this bit of advice. If you wish to be closer to the wind speaker, to receive some revelation from them, you should seek out Electra's company. Though
Does he
she
have any
knows it
idea?
not. No. Though she knows it not, she actually has a connection, indirect though it may be, to the wind speaker. Also, I wasn't typing that time, so that could not have been me.
I think that was me. Sorry.
Okay. Okay.
Where is this Electra and how is she related to my trial?
She is in the capital city, and she is the owner of a very prestigious company, one whose services are employed by much of the city.
Zanto will say, I can meet you over there when we're back if you'd like. I know about quite a bit about her because I was close to her mother.
If we can return, I'm still not confident in that.
Well, all we can do is try. I mean, do you really just want to sit around here forever?
I intended to, but now I have a lead.
So how do we start this trial?
Well, you're already quite a ways through it, but you shall have to follow the roads in order to find the final part. There awaits the true test of your desire to live.
Understood. Though, before we go, she squints at Fofi again. You still look very much like a certain bartender that I met with during the whole royal fiasco back in the day.
Are you saying all bartenders look alike? Because that is an offensive stereotype.
No, just the one.
Well, how many bartenders have you met exactly?
Dozens really. I've been around.
She looks you up suspiciously. Well, you better get that ad on track and keep track of that bartenderism you've got going there.
Yeah, I suppose I will.
Bartenderism.
It is a unique form of discrimination against bartenders. There are people who say that we all look the same. They'll just go into a tavern and they'll be like, hey, you look exactly like the last 10 bartenders I met.
Well, do you have multiple bars in the material plane?
I'm not allowed to disclose that.
I mean, for all we know, you could secretly be working for Raven, and that's exactly why you would own like 20 different bars, because that would be the most chaotic thing you could do.
I cannot disclose that either.
Fair enough.
Oh, but I can offer you room and board for the night.
What is the payment you require for this?
Nothing. You've already passed my test, so consider this as a treat.
Okay, thank you. Pardon me for being a little wary.
It's understandable, but this is a natural part of your test. It is to make sure that you are ready for what is to come and able to face it in, well, on as equal a terms as you can.
Thank you.
She nods and guides them upstairs. The beds are surprisingly soft, fluffy, and comfortable, and even come with plushies to hug during the night.
This is excellent.
Incredible.
And if any of you buy the bartender or the snake's book, you can have a tree read to you.
But unfortunately, I do not have.
I don't know if any of us have the gold.
I mean, you could always just trade your immortal souls.
I kind of need those for a little bit longer.
Does Anta also specifically get a fox bed?
Yes.
Perfect.
So does Sprout.
Oh my god. And Sunny? Does Sunny
No,
get
Sunny
her
gets
own
the
bed?
human bed.
Sunny gets oh my I was just gonna ask if Sunny gets her own bed, but damn, okay.
Yeah, so Sprout gets
Why are you giving Sunny a human bed?
well, see, that's how
For
that's how
humans?
Sometimes because humans can be comfortable to sleep on at times. So cats have told me at least.
Okay, I need to go to bed. I am not waking up for this kind of brain fuckery.
Well, given that next session it's going to require all of you, that's okay. Go ahead.
Oh my god, is there anything else? Or is that all for today?
Nope. That's all for today.
Alright.
This is an interesting session. I did not expect us to be trapped in the back rooms.
Me either.
I mean, yeah, that's the goal, is to have you not expect what happens, as opposed to,
Fair.
doing something obvious.
Some expectations sometimes.
hand.
I mean, you get to expect that you get to hear my lovely voice, and you're mostly right about that.
True.
And then other times it's the Stargales.
Look, see, here's the thing. Did I know that we were going to the Dead Roads? Yes, because I had to make the 3D maps. But,
This entire adventure has went from the equivalent of Daredevil and Punisher to Avengers, and Daitetsu is completely bitter about it. He feels as though he's playing in someone's game, that the world is bigger than he thought it to be.
Well, no, other people are playing him in a game.
He's becoming self-aware.
He left his little city and has experienced many plot lines.
Okay, so I have to go, but before I do, I just want to make sure I want to make sure that none of you are uncomfortable if all of you end up dying next session. So if you feel uncomfortable about that, please speak.
Oh my god. Thank you for the session. Have a good night.
I think that'll be
I have a few
fine.
character ideas if Daitetsu dies. So
I don't.
Yeah, if we TPK, I can come up with something else.
Okay. Good night, everybody. Thank you for coming.
All right. Good
night.
night. Bye bye.